I was rocked for sure. I was a bit like disoriented, but my mindset coach tells me to prepare for these moments. I just told myself, recover and win the next exchange. Get me moving forward in the rankings, baby. I think this was a great performance, and I expect to fight someone ahead of me. Thank you, guys. I love you.
Look at this, steps all the way in. Hey, he's been working on really tirelessly with the guys down Kill Cliff. Amazing kickboxers down there, and it paid off for him here tonight.
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered. Please tell me that's on video. I've never been happier. I'm made for a fucking podcast. That's dangerous. Listen to me, we're at it.
Reinier, the whole world is celebrating this victory that you had over Bo Nickal. Were you surprised at all by anything that Bo had in there for you?
No, I don't think so. Not really. He had a nice takedown with the inside trip to the single ankle pick. He was in the end, when he was hurt, he had a few decent shots in him still when he started swinging. But yeah, this was kind of what I was expecting, but I hope to choke him out, but this was nice too.
Yeah, it seemed like as you were striking him, I mean, no one likes to get hit, but they were saying noticeably he was really not liking what you were doing with the strikes. Yeah. I don't think he's dealt with anybody quite like you yet. But they said, people say, Bo Nickal was exposed. I don't think so. I just think that you're a devastating opponent and you fought a better fight. I still think Bo's a great fighter.
Yeah, one thing we noticed in the study beforehand is he really likes that pump fake, right? He likes to dip, and then throw overhands. And he really likes some space to do this. So he likes to, when you take a step back, that's what he loves. Then he can come in, throw a couple overhands, and then wrestle. So the game plan coming in was just putting a lot of pressure on him, and I think that really worked tremendously, because he never had a chance to really reset and think, gather his thoughts, and get ready to strike again. Every time I heard him, I was on him, and I think that really worked very well.
You showed great respect for Bo after the fight by saying, "I'm glad I fought you now instead of in 3 years." Yeah. I'm curious, was there any communication or interaction backstage after your fight with him?
Nah, not really. It's always a bit of a shit situation anyway, right? Because he's very he feels very bad. I feel very happy. So we talked a little bit, but I think it's better to just shut up and leave it for in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And it was his first loss too, so it seems like, or at least his first pro, like, I think he was 7-0. Yeah. You always wonder how a guy will respond when they're undefeated for a little while and they're known for being undefeated. 2-0, 3-0, it's one thing, but once a guy starts winning like past 5, 6, and 7 fights, you wonder, does that become a part of their identity? Some guys, yes. Some guys, no. Some guys take that. That
was
loss.
Me, huh?
Mm-hmm. It was you.
That was me. Exactly. Yeah, I was 16-0. I thought I was undefeatable, man. I thought nobody could touch me.
And who was that first loss to?
Melican, Anatoly Melican. Yeah. That's the only guy I lost to. I lost to him twice. And he's a heavyweight. So at the time in one championship, there was no middleweights anymore. I was the light heavyweight champion and the middleweight champion. And I got so arrogant, and I thought it was God's gift to fighting at some point. So I thought, let's do a heavyweight now, because there was nobody there. I was just sitting around. They were really not giving me any fights, not letting me go. And it was a bit too much, especially in the first fight.
Does it make it easier for you knowing because it was obviously he was a heavier fighter. It was a weight thing. And both the losses were to him, and then you came right back and you won 4 straight. So it wasn't something that really set you on some kind of a bad path. There's certain guys that go on to a really, you can see that they're frustrated and they've lost something when that happens.
Look, anything that happens, if it's a win or a loss, if it's a spectacular win or a spectacular loss or whatever, only you have the option to make it a good or a bad thing. Especially in those, if it's a devastating loss like Bo suffered, the only guy who can make it a good or a bad thing is him. If it motivates him, if it gets him back in the gym, if it gets him to maybe let go of some things he did in the past, he did wrong, focus even more on fighting, really grind and get better. Then it's then in a couple of years he'll look back and he'll say that was the best thing that ever happened to me. If he says this is bullshit, RDR way more experience and fuck this guy, I'm still the best to have ever done it, then it's gonna be a negative thing. And so he has the power right now, like I had the power a couple of years ago.
Time will certainly tell. I want to turn it to this upcoming main event against Robert Whittaker. Where did this come from? Because I know you were talking about Sean Strickland. There were some other opponents, and then it seems like in super speedy time, now you're booked for 5 against the Reaper.
Yeah, crazy, yeah. For some reason, it always comes together pretty quickly after these fights. So I got home Monday. Then Wednesday morning, Ali called me and said, I think we have a good fight. And it was set. And then Wednesday, he told me, don't tell anybody. The UFC wants to announce it themselves. So I was at the gym at night, a Wednesday night, and people were showing me on their phone already, hey, you're fighting Whittaker, right? I was like, how do you guys know, you motherfuckers?
And that's a big jump up in the rankings, a guy to fight. Like, so if you win that fight, I think he's number 5 right now, and if you win that fight and you take that 5 spot, I mean that means they're really priming you for a shot at the title. Like, you know what I mean? To give you somebody that high up, and let's be honest, I mean, he's a legend, and he's a guy that if anybody wants a shot at the title, he's one of the guys you have to try to get through because he's always in contention. Whittaker's interesting. Like, he can lose a fight or two, come back and win a fight or two, and they're already talking about him to fight for the belt again. What did you do to what you were saying before was interesting about after you lost that first fight and then you wound up losing that second to the same opponent? What did you do mentally, and how did it put a doubt in you, like I'm not going to win for a while, or how did you handle that mentally?
So between those fights was I think almost a year and a half, because after the loss they parked me like for a crazy long time. I wasn't able to get any fights in between. And it really got me to before at some point I was still training hard, but I thought if I just go in there like I did 16 times in a row, if I just go in there, I grab a guy, take him down, I'm gonna choke him out. This is just how fighting goes. I got to that level of arrogance that I thought this is just what I do to people. And I kind of lost track of what got me to be one of the best guys in the world. I kind of lost track of the dedication I have to the game, the how do you say this? Obsession I have to getting better at every aspect. Like back in the day, I used to dream about techniques. I used to, before I fell asleep, I would be thinking about the positions I was in that day, the things I'd been working on. And there were a couple of years there that I just lost that. I wasn't really as obsessed anymore. I wasn't as in the game anymore. And since joining the UFC, since being at Kill Cliff, surrounded by these monsters there, I've really gotten back into that mindset. There's times that I'm just I'm sitting around. That's just only what is going through my mind is positions, and strikes. It's that knee. It's the how did I mess up in this part of the sparring? How did I get swept? How did I get taken down? What did I do good there? I'm always I'm very obsessed is the right word at the moment. Yeah.
Well, I think that spark is certainly back. If you take out an undefeated prospect on Saturday and you're booked for a main event by Wednesday, no R&R for RDR. I am curious though. You know, July 26th in Abu Dhabi. What version of Whittaker do you think we're going to see? Obviously, he's coming from a devastating face crank by Chimaev. What are you expecting?
Yeah, I don't put too much into that loss. He lost. I think. If you, I was just watching the video again of that fight. It wasn't really there. It wasn't really on in any fashion, the choke. It wasn't that great of a choke. He got him down very spectacularly, did that very well. The double was beautiful. And he had some decent control. on the back. But I think it's very clear that there was an injury there before, causing him to lose. And I think we'll see the Whittaker we always see. He's always ready. He's always very game. But I'll have to put a stop to him.